Welcome back to Utah Studies. Today, we're learning about Chapter 5. Let's get into it. All right, so Chapter 5 is called Passing Through the Great Basin. We're going to have more people coming in, but mostly going through Utah. The big deal about this chapter is the intelligence or the map making is going to improve. People are going to know how to go around the Great Salt Lake. So we're going to have to know what manifest destiny is. If you don't know, don't worry, you're about to learn. Okay, a couple of wagon trains you should know. Bidwell-Barlston Party, it's the first one into Utah. You should know that for like a Jeopardy question or a quiz question, but it's not as famous as the Donner Reed Party. So just know that Donner Reed Party is probably more important. Okay, what is Hastings Cutoff? I want you to know where it is on the map, what it is, and then was it real? Was it fake? Was he lying? Was it accurate? What's about this Hastings Cutoff? We'll talk about it, okay? And then the changing boundaries. So Mexico becomes a country in 1821. This is part of Mexico, okay? Look, in 1846, Utah is part of Mexico. And so I want you to know that. Which mountain man was attacked by a bear? That's right, Jedediah Smith, okay? What term means the belief in the superiority of one's own culture? What's that term? Do you remember? You do. Okay, good. Ethnocentricity. Ethnocentricity. Give me an example of Spanish ethnocentricity in the Southwest. The missions. Okay, you're building the mission to teach the Native Americans the Spanish ways. Very good. Here we go. We didn't cover this one somehow. It escaped me. What's a cache? Okay, a cache, you know, you can have a weapons cache. It means a storage of weapons. Or you can have a cache on your computer, a storage of information. For the trappers, or excuse me, for the mountain men, they're going to have a cache where they save some of their beaver skins and then they pull them out to go to that big half party, half business trip where they're selling skins and getting resupplies. What was that party called? Rendezvous. Rendezvous. Okay, know what a cache is? It's a storage. Cache Valley? I wonder if mountain men stored stuff there. They did. Okay. Old Spanish Trail. What is it? Trade route. Got it. Between what? And? Perfect. No, I'm just kidding. You didn't know that, did you? I hope you did. But in case you didn't, between Santa Fe and Los Angeles, okay? 3 factors that control climate. You thought it was gone. You thought it couldn't come back, but it's back. Latitude, elevation, distance from the ocean, okay? Know that. So let's take a look at our primary source right here. Look at this picture, and you might have to pause it. I really want you to have a good think. Take 10 seconds, 25 seconds, take a look. What are all the things you see in this picture? Enjoy. Okay, welcome back. So, did you notice that it's basically a picture of progress, okay? So on the left, you've got, people walking, and then you've got the covered wagon, followed by the stagecoach, followed by the train. And right next to the train is the telegraph line. And you've kind of got light on one side and dark on another. You've got the Native Americans kind of being pushed one way, and the top right-hand corner where the boats are, that's the Erie Canal. Okay, you've got this, so it's progress, it's innovation. These people, you've got the bear kind of running away, then you got these people, and then you got the homesteaders coming in. Okay, that's American progress. So let's go to the term manifest destiny. It was our destiny. I think the exact quote says to rule the North American continent, but I think it's more applicable to say to rule from sea to shining sea. The United States has only expanded out about 1/3 of the way. And now we're going to buy this giant thing called the Louisiana Purchase, and we're going to own about half of what is continental United States. And then we're going to push it all the way to the Pacific. And so this manifest destiny is our destiny to keep growing all the way to the other sea. Okay, so that's what manifest destiny is. Okay, the original Indian trails, who learns about them? The mountain men. There's no more beaver hats because of the silk hat, and now they're going to show the pioneers these roads and show them how to navigate. These will become wagon roads. Also, just want to show you this map. Remember, we had that mythical river that was connected to the Great Salt Lake. It's still there. They just, even in 1826, they just thought somehow, some way, the lake must connect. How else would it be salty? It must connect to the ocean. We just haven't found it yet. Okay, Bidwell Barlston Party. You're only gonna have to know first wagon train to Utah. That's all you need to know, and you're good. You can check this out though. It starts in Independence, Missouri. That's where a lot of these wagon trains start. Independence, Missouri. That's sort of your last major town before you head out west into the great unknown. You can see some other trails on there. Oh, look, Hastings Cutoff in the gray. We're going to talk about that more, but I want you to know about it. Let's just talk about it right now. Let's just do it, okay? People are headed west. Hastings really wants more population in California, okay? And so he publishes a book that says, dude, there's a shortcut. Just zip right on down, zip right south of the lake, and it's super easy. The problem is he'd never really done it, and it's not really a shortcut. So people are going to go that way, and it's going to take them longer. And when it takes you longer and you don't get over the mountains in time, you know, the snow before the snow, you're going to have a problem. Spoiler alert, Donner Reed Party coming up soon. Okay. What do you need to know about Charles Fremont? By the way, Fremont's a very interesting guy, okay? And he is one of the first, I think he's the first Republican presidential candidate. He's important for maps of the West, okay? He's a topographical engineer, and then these maps are important for the railroad. So again, we're learning about the intel. Okay, people didn't know about Utah. This is how we get maps and how we get people. At first, people are kind of going through this region. Next, people are going to want to stay in this region. How do you know about the trails? How do you get this intel? We're kind of building upon that, okay? Here's a picture of him seeing the Great Salt Lake on his second expedition. There's a guy, hey man, look, there's a giant lake right there. And then Fremont looks up and goes, oh wow, I wouldn't have seen that lake. Thanks for pointing that out. That's a true reenactment right there. Okay, here's his third expedition. Here's a quick video about Hastings Cutoff. It's so important, it's back. Let's look at it. On this map at the top, it's the little red guy kind of cutting around the Salt Lake. It's right by, it's right, you know, if you've been to the Grantsville, they have a museum to the Donner Reed Party, okay? This trail goes right by us, okay? This is pretty awesome. He publishes that Immigrant's Guide to Oregon and California. It says, come on out, man, easy time, oh, just whoop, whoop, then you'll be right there. All fake, okay? And it causes real problems. So the first group to use the Hastings Cutoff, they have mules. They have to cross our giant desert here. It takes them 17 hours. That's a long time, but that's not impossible. That's less than a day. Easy for me to say. I've only crossed it in an hour and a half in an air-conditioned car. But 17 hours seems doable. But now you've got some wagons. The wagons take days because oxen are slower when they're hauling all your stuff. They abandon a third of the wagons. This is setting it up for the Donner Reed Party, who it takes 6 days to cross the desert because the desert's all sludgy. They don't cross it at the right time because the Hastings Cutoff was, you know, basically a lie. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's not a shortcut. They're going to starve on this mountain. They're so close to the top. This is one of those interesting points in history. I forget what it is, 100 yards or, you know, I mean, it's not an unsurmountable amount. Like their last night of camping, if they had just said, no, we're going over the top and then we camp, they would have made it. But they say, all right, we're close to the top, we'll go over in the morning. But when morning arrives, the snow has already set in, and then they can't make it over and back down, okay? So this is the Donner Reed Party. We got a real good documentary about this coming up.
I don't know anyone that would want to do that, pulling a wagon across it. I mean, it's just nothing for miles. And after the first 2 miles, I was like, I'm done. I can't believe they did it with wagons, and they had to pull them out of the sand because like it would sink, and I would have left. I would have been done. I'm surprised Hastings didn't get murdered when they showed up to California. That's just, it's crazy. There's nothing to look at. It's endless.
You traveled as you could in the day. You made what progress you could at night until it was over, until you reached that spring, which was to reach life again. They had expected something that was maybe 40 miles when they were first sold this bill of goods up in Fort Bridger. As they got out here and discovered what they were really into, it was life-threatening.
Some of the most barren country in the whole United States, aptly described by John C. Fremont in his journals, and then Stansberry in his journals, as a vast plain without even a blade of grass. Searing heat with many mirages as you look out over the desert.
Well, the Hastings cutoff was a good idea on paper and a bad idea on the landscape because of this area here that surrounds us. It was initially billed, as being both quicker and shorter than the traditional route that ran up to Fort Hall and then hooked into the Humboldt River. But it was really not short, and it was extremely difficult.
Very deceptive. A hard crust on the surface that once you break through, bottomless mud. Capable of swallowing animals and wagons. Very treacherous.
Hastings was a dreamer. His idea was to build the population of California, and so that he could become kind of the king, the ruler of this community that he was trying to build. And that's why, my opinion is, why he wanted people to go to California.
Okay, this map here shows in the red, that's the United States. Then you've got the rest of the Louisiana Purchase kind of there in the dark green. You've got Oregon country, and then look, all that orange zone, it says foreign area, that's Mexico, okay? Well, depending on what time this map is, 1840, okay, Republic of Texas. Texas hasn't been annexed, which means added to the United States yet. But anyhow, you've got Mexico there. Utah was Mexico, and if you know that, that's what I wanted you to know. Okay, great. So this lesson was nice and short because you've got free time. You've got quiz. Got time to take a quiz, all right? So attached to this lesson, there'll be a little quiz. It covers the last chapter. Make sure you take it next time. On Utah Studies, we watched the documentary about the Donna Reed Party for a couple of reasons. One, you get to see all the awesome pictures and the primary sources just jammed in one video. Two, it gives you a good idea about not only about how hard the trek is, but when you're leaving at this point in time, when you say, I'm going to Utah or I'm going to California, you might as well be going to Mars. You're leaving and you're not coming back. Even if you wanted to come back, it'd be over a year. It's 6 months each way, basically. So that's why I want you to get a sense of, like, when these people are going west, they're saying goodbye to everyone they know and all the stuff they had, and they're going out there. And so I'm hoping you get an idea of that. And then you can also obviously learn about the Donna Reed Party and the problems that they have. Okay? So I hope you have a great day. Take care.